Have you ever tried petting a cat, but every time you come closer, the cat runs away and keeps watching you from a distance? Then you walk towards the cat in a second attempt, but it runs away again. When you approach the cat a third time, it flees and disappears. However, a few hours later, when you've focused your attention on something else, the cat appears, walks toward you, and jumps onto your lap. A phenomenon we often experience is that when we chase something or someone, it moves away from us. But when we leave it alone, it comes to us. This mechanism can be hard to reconcile with the idea that effort is the key to success. Even though it's true that achieving goals often requires work, there's also another side to the story. The law of reversed effort shows us that, in many situations, putting in work only removes us further from the desired outcome, and that the more we try, the worse it gets. But the less we try, the better it gets. Hence, achieving goals doesn't just require work. We also must abstain from action. And to know when to act and when not to, we need intelligence and skill. In a previous video, we explored a dimension of the law of reversed effort, also called the backwards law. But this exploration was from the viewpoint of pursuing happiness, as stated by best-selling author Mark Manson. Wanting a positive experience is a negative experience. Accepting a negative experience is a positive experience. End quote. So, the more we want happiness, the less happy we'll be, as we're reinforcing a sense of lack. And that if we're content with how things are and not in a state of lack, we suddenly have what we're looking for. But in this video, we'll explore the law of reversed effort from the viewpoint of performance, achieving goals, and overcoming fears. The law of reversed effort was once coined by English writer and philosopher Aldous Huxley, who stated that we only achieve proficiency by combining relaxation with activity. I quote, "The harder we try with the conscious will to do something, the less we shall succeed." Proficiency and the results of proficiency come only to those who have learned the paradoxical art of doing and not doing, or combining relaxation with activity, of letting go as a person in order that the immanent and transcendent unknown quantity may take hold. We cannot make ourselves understand. The most we can do is to foster a state of mind in which understanding may come to us. Imagine an insomniac trying to sleep. The more he tries, the longer he seems to stay awake, and the longer he stays awake, the more frustrated he becomes, and the harder he tries. But after a while, the insomniac stops trying, accepting that he can't sleep, and suddenly, without any effort, he dozes off. Sleep is one of those many things we cannot force. Yet, we often try hard to fall asleep with horrible results. When we look at the nature of sleep, this isn't much of a surprise. We can see sleep as the ultimate form of relaxation. Thus, trying to sleep is pretty contradicting as we make an effort or even force ourselves to relax, which is the opposite of relaxation. Another thing we cannot force is attraction. No one chooses to be attracted to someone or something. It just happens. Even though this is a generalization, by and large, we see that clinginess repels and elusiveness attracts. The more we chase someone, the less attractive we become. But if we stop chasing, we become more elusive, and the attraction may return. As the proverb goes, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Trying too hard often backfires. Philosopher and psychiatrist Viktor Frankl observed that when we focus too much on achieving specific outcomes and preventing others, we generate anticipatory anxiety. In many cases, This hyperintention leads to the situation we try to avoid. An example from his book, Man's Search for Meaning, is a stutterer who desperately tries not to stutter. But because he tries too hard, his speech falters even more as he's anxious not to speak without stammering. And so, it's with many things. If we try too hard to enjoy ourselves, we're probably not enjoying ourselves because we're so fixated on results that the fixation itself is unpleasant. Another example is people who experience difficulties climaxing in the bedroom. The more they fixate on trying to climax, the less successful they'll be, and the more dreadful the whole bedroom experience becomes, including the anticipation beforehand. Again, hyperfixation on specific outcomes hijacks one's ability to perform. Viktor Frankl provides us with a practical method called paradoxical intention. This method can help us relieve ourselves of hyperintention, or in other words, not try so hard. By applying paradoxical intention, we shift the paradigm from avoiding specific outcomes like stuttering or not being able to sleep to wanting these outcomes. By wishing for things we